The Real Thing and You to Me Are Everything. Just gone 3:15 then here on BBC Radio Cornwall with me, Tiffany Truscott. Now, an author based in South East Cornwall has set her latest book, which is a light thriller, at the Eden Project. It's called The Angel Bug, and Anne Foweraker is with me now. Afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Tiffany.
So this isn't your first novel, is it? It's your fourth, I think, isn't it?
That's right. It's the third one that I've set in Cornwall, but it's my fourth novel.
And just before we talk a little bit about the novel, you were a teacher, primary and secondary, before you started writing. Was writing something you always wanted to do?
Yes, I've written poetry since I was a child, and in fact, even when I was at school, I used to write stories involving my friends, and at that time, the monkeys, because that's the age I am. And so I've always written, but it wasn't until my youngest son was born that I actually started writing novels.
And how long did your first one take?
It actually took about the length of the first draft took about the length of time it took for him to get potty trained. Because while he was sitting, supposedly getting on with the business, and I was getting bored, I started writing the first novel. That, of course, I then had to write all up on the computer. Not a good one. Nobody sees that anymore.
Now you're just straight into the computer, are you, using it?
Straight onto the computer, yeah.
So with this fourth novel, as you say, it's the third one set in Cornwall. Why did you, I mean, it's a silly question really, because the Eden Project is something we all know of, but why did you decide you wanted to set it at Eden in particular?
It worked the other way round, really. I was at Eden, and I had noticed a tree, the Moringa oleifera, which is also known as a miracle tree. And I was reading about that, thinking, wow, yes, it's an amazing tree. And something just clicked. A miracle tree in Eden. I don't know. It just started off an idea, and that's the idea that I ran with. And because that's where it started, and because they have the tree in Eden, like a man-made Eden for man-made woes, that sort of comes out in the book at one point. And
the beginning of the book, it's kind of setting the scene. It's something mysterious happens to this tree, and that's how everything sort of escalates from there. But what about your research? Because you would have needed to do a little bit of research at Eden to know, to make it look authentic, really, wouldn't you, in the book? Yeah, I was quite keen to get the science right, and was quite keen to get Eden right. So I contacted them there, contacted the biological department, and they very kindly said I could go there. I had my list of questions by then. They answered all my questions. They took me out to the Watering Lane nurseries, and I looked at their labs, looked at the nurseries, asked more questions, and so I had a good background to work from. However, the fiction does take off. I do play with their personnel structure. I play with the physical structure. So if somebody wanted to break into the domes, as happens at a particular time, they couldn't do it the way I say you can. Yes, you have to be careful, don't you, within reason. And because it's a work of fiction, then you can play around with it a little bit, can't you?
Yes, I do say at the beginning of the book, actually, that I have played around with certain things. I wouldn't want people to get the wrong idea about Eden. I think it's wonderful.
But you can almost see, I mean, Eden has been sort of used already in films, hasn't it? So many television programmes, it's so well known that it kind of lends itself to something dramatic happening, doesn't it?
I think so. It's a magical place, and I've put things on the internet, and I have people I know in Canada and Australia saying, oh yes, I saw the Eden Project when we were over in the UK. So yes, it's iconic now.
It certainly is. And the book itself is kind of a series of memoirs between the two main characters, isn't it? That's how you've written it.
That's how it is. It alternates between Gabbi, who's a 50-something widow, who's a botanist at Eden, quite humble botanist. But she's been left in charge just while they're between senior botanists. And they have this problem with the miracle tree. And the other character, he's a legendary ethnobotanist, and he's also a millionaire because he's recently had a film that's just gone global, and he's doing a lecture tour, and he's arriving at Eden, but she knows that the first thing that he made his name on was that tree, a study of that tree. And so she's thinking, oh no, when he comes, he'll want to see the tree. And we've got a problem.
And the rest, as I say, you'll have to read in the book.
Well, it's a humanity-changing thing that happens.
And have you been in touch with Eden since you finished it as well, to let them know about it?
Well, yes. As I wrote the book, I sort of happened to put Tim Smith into it. It's rather difficult to write a book about Eden without mentioning him, and so he appears as himself in a number of places. So I'm thinking, I need to ask him, because if it's a fiction and you've got somebody real, it's a bit dodgy just to put them in. And I was at St Germans for the Port Eliot Festival. We were reading with the Liscard poets, and I literally bumped into him, turned round, realised who it was, and said, oh, I need to ask you something. He was really sweet, and he said, send me the manuscript and I'll see. I sent it, and in the end I got a letter, an email back saying, yes, you can use me as me in this novel. So
that was good. So all is well with that.
Yes.
And now, of course, the book has just literally come out.
Yes, on Monday, July the 1st, I've had it released, and it's released as an e-book.
And you must already have some followers as well from your previous work. So is that something, are they always keen to read the next instalment from you?
Yes, which is lovely. In fact, some people that have read all the other three and were excited by them, I contacted them to be my beta readers. This is somebody who reads your book before you publish it, after you finish it, before you publish it, to see if there's any errors in it, something doesn't follow through, or if they notice that you've made a mistake in a name. It's amazing how you can do that. And they've been delighted. They've already sent me some reviews for that.
That is good, isn't it?
They're there as well if anyone wants to read them.
And I've spoken to quite a few authors that just say being able to upload a book and publish it on for online purchases has just made a huge difference to the way they work.
Absolutely, because, well, I say that first, you really have to get it polished. You have to get it polished. You have to edit it. You have to get it proofread. I'd say you have to get it out to your beta readers, and you have to give it another go through. But then it's very immediate to have it out there as an ebook.
And can people get it online now?
They can. At the moment, I'm doing a special offer, so I have only got it on andmadebooks.co.uk, because there, which is my own website, I can put it out on a special offer. As soon as I put it on Amazon in August, it has to go up to its full price. So it's andmadebooks.co.uk.
So people can have a look at that and your other works as well. And
they're all there.
And what about you? Are you already working on the next book?
Yes, I am. I'm busy researching the next book. It's hasn't even got a working title at the moment because I keep changing it. It was The Muse, but I think it might be The Liars. And I'm doing research at the moment into festivals in the 1970s, particularly the Watchfield Festival.
So quite a bit of work.
Adoption.
Quite a bit of work involved with that one then.
Yes, there is.
You do give yourself some challenges, don't you? Well, it's been lovely to meet you this afternoon. Thank you for coming in. As we said, it's called The Angel Bug, and it's available on your website now.
Yeah, andmadebooks.co.uk.
Yeah. Well, best of luck with it, and people will go to Eden now with maybe a different purpose, won't they, after they've read it? Maybe they'll be spotting this tree for sure, won't they?
They'll be looking for the Moringa oleifera.
Exactly. Thank you for coming in this afternoon.
Thank you very much, Tiffany. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. That's Anne Foweraker, and that book is called The Angel Bug.